Hi everyone! Look what I have. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about this in just a minute. But you guys, it's a huge week with Stampin' Up. We had a new store launch on Tuesday. We had the holiday catalog launch on Tuesday. So this catalog, the holiday catalog, is now available. I can now show you the inside. If you don't already have a copy and you don't have a demonstrator, please let me know. I'd love to get you one. But you can now start ordering from that holiday catalog if you want to get a jump start on those holiday projects, or you just want to buy some new stuff. There are some amazing new accessories and tools in that catalog that can be used all year long, not just for holidays. So I'm going to show you a really cute project made with lots of holiday products coming up. But first, let's talk about our new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now this has been a long time coming. Look how beautiful it is too. This has been a long time coming. We discontinued the Big Shot a while ago, and so this is our new machine, and demonstrators can pre-order it right now. So that's just one of the many perks of being a demonstrator. You can get this early. So it opens up, so it folds up and is nice and compact for storage. I'm going to turn this way. It folds up so it's nice and compact for storage. You can see, and it snaps into place. It's nice and firm and it snaps into place. So if you're carrying it around, those aren't going to fly open, which I love. And when I start doing in-person classes again, I'll be transporting this to and from classes, and so this will be so much easier to pack than my old die cutting machine. So again, it opens up. It has an opening just like any die cutting machine, and you turn the handle and it goes through. So it functions the same way as any die cutting machine. It's just much more sleeker looking and just really amazing new product. So you can turn it either way. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, it'll work either way. It comes with plates. So you get a platform, you get a thin die adapter, you get 2 cutting plates, and then you have a specialty plate which is used for the 3D embossing folders. So, and the plates are numbered, which I love. Let me turn them so you can see. The plates are numbered, so you know how to build your sandwich. And there's also instructions on the platforms, on the thin die adapter too. It shows you. So you know exactly how to build. If you're embossing, you know exactly what you need to build your platform. So you use 1. We're going to be using some thin dies today. So we're going to use 2, and then we have our cutting plate, and then another cutting plate will go on top of that. So just really straightforward. And then the specialty plate is also numbered. Now also available, not now, but coming, there will be a magnetic cutting plate, which I'm so excited about. That is not available now. It will be coming, and also coming will be impressions mats, which will be coming soon too. So these are the only things, these are not available right now, and then these are just duplicates. If you need more cutting plates, we always need to replace our cutting plates. If you need another specialty plate or another base plate. So these are just replacements, but these 3 things will come with your machine, so you do not have to purchase them. And then we also have a mini machine coming soon sometime too. So all we know is that they've told us by the end of the year. So I'm so excited about this little mini machine, especially after using this bigger machine. I'm super excited about it. And then they'll have the same little specialty plates too. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit of comparison with this machine compared to the Big Shot. I know a lot of you have the Big Shot. So let's just talk a little bit of comparison. So I'm going to fold this up and put it off to the side. I'm actually going to bring my Big Shot in. Now, I was talking to a friend yesterday about this machine, and one of the things I told her was, like, when you get a new phone or a new TV, a new piece of technology, you didn't realize how much you were missing because of all the new features and gadgets on it. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like with this sleeker design, with the fold-up sides, I had no idea like how clunky this was and how kind of awkward it was to carry around. And I knew it was awkward because packing it for classes, it was always challenging to pack and take my Big Shot places. Dies cut beautifully in here. Embossing folders emboss beautifully. They do the same things. They cut and emboss. They both do the same things. You might not be in the market to purchase a new machine right now. You might have a Big Shot that works just fine for you. And I'm going to open this up so you can see like a size comparison. So they're roughly the same size. I know that it's not all kind of fitting on the camera, but they are roughly the same length. This one's a little wider, just to accommodate the doors opening and closing. But I mean, if you're not in the market for a machine, you might not be interested in purchasing the Stampin' Up one right now, and that's fine. I know that there are plenty of people though that are in the market. I know my Big Shot is very, very old, and it hasn't been working properly. So I was definitely in the market, and I was definitely super excited. I love how beautiful it is. There's little emblems on the front. There's emblems when you open it. I love everything about it. I cannot say enough good things about it. So if you are in the market, this is a great machine to purchase. This will be available for customers to purchase on September 1st. Or again, you can join my team and purchase it now. You can add it to your starter kit. It is $120 for the starter kit. You get to choose $125 worth of product for only $99. So if you do add this to your starter kit and join my team, you would only pay $99 for it, $99 plus tax, and you'd get it. So fantastic deal, wonderful deal. So I'm going to move it off to the side just for a minute. We are going to bring it back out to use it in a minute. But and now I'm going to lower my camera a little bit because it is very high. I had to bring it in to accommodate that Big Shot. So I'm going to pull it down just a little bit so that you can see the project we're going to make a little bit easier. Otherwise, you guys are going to be like, that is so far away. But I wanted to be able to have that whole machine come in. All right. Are you guys ready? I hope I didn't make anybody too sick. I have a new host code for August. This is my new host code. If you do want to place an order, I have some amazing specials coming on my blog on Monday. I encourage you guys to all check my blog on Monday. I have some amazing, amazing specials coming on Monday. And yeah, and if you're in New Mexico, you guys, this weekend is a tax-free weekend. And that means we get tax-free on like adhesives, markers, and that includes Stampin' Blends, watercolor pencils, all kinds of stuff we're going to get tax-free on. So if you need to stock up on adhesive, or maybe this is the time you want to purchase those Stampin' Blends, tax-free is a great time to do it. So only in New Mexico, well, there are other states, but I know New Mexico is this weekend tax-free. Use this host code when you shop my online store. All right, let me show you guys what we're making today. We're going to use this bundle, the Menagerie Mix Up Bundle. It's so cute. Just look at some of these examples. Like this card, I think sold me on it immediately. I just love it. I love this stamp set so much, and I've used it a ton. So this is the card we're making. Isn't it cute? And we're going to talk a lot about all these little details on this card, but it is so cute. So let me pull out the bundle that we're using, and I want to talk about the amazing like features of this bundle. So this is a stamp set, and then all of the dies. So it is a huge bundle. There are 35 stamp sets and stamps in this, and then there are 36 dies. So it is a huge bundle. And one of the things I like the most about these dies is that there is a little outline. So when you remove I have all my dies up here, I don't want to lose them. But when you take off a die to use it, you know exactly where it goes. And if you if one goes missing, you know exactly which one is missing. So I love that. I love that there's a little outline. I'm gonna move those aside so we don't lose them. But I love this because you can create so many different animals. You can create so many different little creatures, so many different ways. Okay, we are also using this stamp set, the Peace and Joy stamp set from the mini catalog. This is one of my favorites. I cannot stop using this, and it does come with dies. Let me find it in the catalog because I didn't pull out the dies to show you guys, but it is phenomenal. It is one of my absolute favorites. But there are dies that cut the words. There's 3 different dies that cut the words. You get like a real skinny word. You have the die that cuts around each of the words, and then you have like a shadow die that cuts a big shadow around it. So I love this bundle. This is one of my favorite bundles. I have used this a ton, and we're going to just use some of these. We're going to use some of the gradings and some of the little leaf images in that one. So this is a fabulous bundle to get. Okay, so let's pull everything in. I didn't get any grid paper out, so we're just going to have to stamp on my little paper here. So let's pull in all our supplies and everything off to the side so I could fit in that machine. So we have a piece of Pear Pizzazz, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Make my bone folder out. I feel a little rusty. I haven't stamped at all in like a week. And last time we did my Facebook Live, we didn't do any stamping, so I feel a little rusty. This is, I believe this is 5 by 3 3/4. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then this is 5 by 3 3/4. So when we layer this up, it's just going to give a really thin little border around the edge. So that is the base of our card. We have a stitched circle from the stitch shaped dies, and then I also cut out a couple little pieces of foliage from the, oh my goodness, what is the name of it? I'm gonna have to look it up, guys, because I do not remember, and I do not want to give you guys the wrong name. It is the Forever Flourishing dies. These beautiful dies that go with the Forever Fern stamp set. Beautiful. So I've cut a few of those, a couple of those, one out of Highland Heather and then one out of gold foil. So those are our basic pieces. We're going to do our stamping though. And for our stamping, I have a piece of our Velveteen paper. And this paper is lush. It is so fun. So it comes in cinnamon cider, soft sea foam, and Highland Heather. You get the 3 papers all in one pack. And it is fantastic. It is just so, I just loved, it's just like fuzzy and velvety, and it's beautiful. And when I saw these animals, I was like, well, absolutely, we have to stamp that on the velvet paper. We have to give them a little bit of, those animals, a little bit of texture. So I'm using the cinnamon cider one, and I'm going to use the soft suede ink. Now, the only thing that you do have to remember with this is that I wasn't even sure we could stamp on this. So when I stamped on it, the ink didn't dry right away. I had to leave it for quite a while to dry. Now, I did not try heating it with my heat tool, so I don't know if it would have dried faster with my heat tool, but I stamped it and then just set it aside to dry. And I don't think I inked that very well, so it didn't stamp very well, but I'll try to line this back up. So he's a little fuzzy, but that's okay. I have some more stamp that we're gonna die cut. So you just want to leave these to dry a little bit, and I did find that you do kind of have to hold your stamp for just a few minutes just to let that ink kind of transfer into that velvet paper. So I have a body, I have a head, I have a little tail, I have some ears. So you stamp all of these separately. For the ears, you want to give a little bit of extra room, and I'll show you those dies in just a minute. And I just love the way these build up. And then we are just going to stamp a little face right on our little face. Okay, so I did a horrible job stamping, but let me show you. By the magic of television, ta-da! I already have one stamped, and I have the little scarf and hat stamped too. And I stamped those on the Highland Heather Velveteen paper with gorgeous grape ink. So we have all of our pieces, and you'll see how cute they are. And so these have been drying for quite a while. I actually prepped this last week. So these have been drying for about a week, so I know they're nice and dry, but you do want to give it at least a couple of hours to dry. And I know that seems like a really long time, but the Velveteen paper does not absorb ink the way a traditional paper would. So just give it a little bit of time, because the results are definitely worth it. Okay, we are going to stamp a couple more things. Let me move all of these inky stamps out of the way before we do our die cutting. We're going to stamp a couple more things. So I'm going to set those aside. Those are going to be die cut. I have a scrap piece of white here. This is super scrappy. Scrap piece of white. We're going to stamp the greeting in gorgeous grape ink. I just mounted both of my stamps on this one block. We're going to cut them apart, so it doesn't matter if they're straight or anything. I just put that Mary on kind of wonky looking, so let me get that adjusted. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so we're going to end up cutting these out just with our scissors, so I'm not worried about stamping them crazy. But isn't that beautiful? I love these like bold greetings, these like block greetings. I just love them. All right, one more bit of stamping we're going to do. We're going to stamp our Pear Pizzazz piece. I'm going to stamp it in Pear Pizzazz ink. And I'm going to start with the little holly leaves. I'm going to set this off to the side so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And I am just going to go around, and you want to make sure that you leave room for the berries. Let me pull this in. So I have the holly leaves stamped and the berries. So just leave room for the berries and just go around. I'm turning my stamp. I don't want them all to go the same direction, so I'm turning as I go. You can always fill in later if you feel that there's too much space or you didn't leave enough or whatever. You can always fill in more later. And make sure you go off the page. If you stay on the page, it makes your image not flow as well. Whereas if you go off the page, it just gives it that seamless look. Okay, down here. So you could definitely make a ton of these for Christmas cards or something. Just do all the stamping, let them all dry, and then just do all the assembling later. So, all right, now we're gonna go in with the little holly berries. We'll see if we need to fill in anywhere, but I'm just going to kind of plug these in, kind of just where those leaves come together. And I'm doing a horrible job stamping today. I am out of practice. It's been a while. I've been doing lots of other stuff. The new store launched, and the new store is fantastic. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, make sure you guys look at it. It is fantastic. There's so many different features on that new store that weren't there before, and it's a fun new way to shop. So check it out. Make sure you check that out. Okay, so we have our okay stamped piece here. This card is definitely far superior, but we're gonna get there, don't worry. Okay, so now we're gonna do all of our die cutting. So I'm gonna pull in all of my dies, and I think we're gonna be able to do this all in one pass. So let's pull in the fantastic die cutting machine. And I know it's super close right now, but we'll pull up down our sides. I need to put these down. I need to find my platforms. All right, so we're gonna lay them down. We're gonna go with our base plate. Number 1, we're gonna go number 2, the thin die adapter. We're gonna go 1 cutting pad first. And because this is not a magnetic platform, I am going to use some Post-it tape just to hold these dies in place, because I do not want them to shift around when we're cutting, because that would be a lot of hard work wasted. So let's see if I can get these all lined up. I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible because I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. So we have our little scarf. This is, like I said, this is one of my absolute favorite bundles, and you can create little animals for any time of the year. It doesn't have to just be for Christmas or the holidays, and they're just like little animal paper dolls. And I love that. When I was a kid, I loved paper dolls. Now you'll see with the body, there's, the stamping of the body stops way down here, and there's just a little notch, and that is so that you have a little piece to glue the head onto. And I love that. I just love the way these are designed. This little head will be cut out. Let's see. And then we have the tail. And I'll add some tape to that in a second. And then with the ears, you'll see how they're connected, and they have like a little loop that goes down to connect them, and that gives you a place to adhere them to the back of the head, which is fantastic. I just love it. I just love the way it was designed. So smart and so easy. Okay, like I have 6 thumbs. Okay, so we have that, and now we need our top cutting plate, and then we're just gonna run it right through. So it goes through beautifully. I love it. Okay, all right, let's fold this up and move it out of the way. And then we're gonna have all of our pieces all cut. So, okay, so let's just pull all these off. Fantastic. Pull these off, and I'm just gonna leave them all taped right there, and I will deal with them later. Okay, so we're just gonna take these off the cutting plate, and we're ready to start adhering. Now I'm gonna use Tombow adhesive to adhere. You can use anything you want to adhere this. You can use glue dots or even Stampin Seal or Stampin Seal Plus, whatever you want to use. You can use whatever you want. So I'm going to put a fair amount of glue on this Velveteen paper, and I'm going to start with his scarf. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of his scarf. So I'm going to adhere that down. I want his scarf to go under his head, so I want to do his scarf first, and then we'll put his head right on, just like that. It's so cute. And then we'll put a fair amount of glue on his ears, and you'll see that those line up. You just line up that little bar on the back of his head. I know that sounds just crazy to say something like that, but it's so cute. And then the little tail, and you'll see that the stamping cuts before the end of the tail too, so you can have a little piece to adhere it. Fantastic. He's so cute. Okay, final thing is our little hat, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of that. Now you could stamp and color these with Stampin' Blends or watercolor them. You could just stamp and cut them out of cardstock, just solid colored cardstock like this, and piece them together. I'm actually we're going to set this aside with a block over it, just so everything stays nice and flat while it dries. But there's so many different options. You know, color them with blends, watercolor them, cardstock. There are so many different options. We have some felt in the new catalog. That would be super cute too. Cut some out of felt. So I am so excited about this many possibilities of this stamp set. And it's just such a good year-round stamp set too. So, okay, I'm talking, I'm not even telling you what I'm doing. I'm cutting out the words that we stamped just with my scissors. Again, you could use a paper trimmer. If you don't want to fussy cut these, you could use a paper trimmer. Cut them however you want. Okay, we have our Merry Christmas greeting. I'm going to set this off to the side, throw that away. Okay, we're going to pull in our card. We're going to start assembling. Let's start assembling up some pieces here. Move this off to the side. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal for this. Let's see, come on. There we go. I love it. There is a learning curve. We've talked about that learning curve with Stampin' Seal. If you're used to snail or you're used to fast fuse, there is a learning curve to Stampin' Seal. But once you get it, it is a fantastic adhesive. This cinnamon cider piece will go straight down to our card base, just like this. Oh wait, before we do that though, where's my linen thread? I want to tie a double bow around this. So I need to grab a bunch of this linen thread. So we're gonna, I'm gonna double it up and we're going to wrap it around. And I think I need just a little bit more. Okay. I'm actually going to cut it off the spool because that's going to make my life so much easier. So before we adhere it down, so I just have a double thickness of that linen thread, and we're going to tie a big bow right off to the side here. Let's see. It's not so bad. So we have our little ends, cut these ends, fantastic. And then, oop, hello. And then we'll glue it down. Just gotta get that on before we glue it down to our card base, or it's much harder to do. Okay, we're getting there, people. I'm gonna set this off to the side. I'm gonna put some Stampin' Seal on the back, just one of the corners down here. And we're gonna start layering these up. I'm gonna cut them in half. I'm gonna cut both pieces in half. And, hello. Okay, I'm just gonna cut them in half. And wherever that Stampin' Seal was, I'm just gonna stick them down just in a little, just like that. There's no rhyme or reason to doing this. And then a little bit more adhesive for our gold pieces. And let's see if I can pick it up. These are just gonna go right behind, just like that. These are just little accents. I mean, you could use anything you have to just create these little accents. I just think they're so cute. I just love that little pop of metallic. All right, now that we have those down, we're gonna load this thing up with dimensionals. I'm gonna put some dimensionals over those just to make sure they stay nice and sealed down. And then we're gonna stick this onto our card base. And then it is all about our finishing touches. We are almost done. This is gonna go right down, and we're just gonna kind of nestle it in with that bow, just like that. Super cute. Let me pull this card back in so we can see what we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna stick my Merry Christmas down. I have some liquid glue again. I'm going to put some glue on the second half of Christmas. I'm not gonna put it on the whole thing because it's gonna hang off the edge. This is just gonna go just like this and tuck that bow under. And then on Merry Christmas, and there's so many different greetings you could use. We have so many cute greeting stamp sets in the holiday catalog. Super cute, or the mini catalog, whatever we're calling it. Okay, our little guy is dry. Isn't he adorable? I just love him. Okay. Load him up with dimensionals on the back. So lots of dimensionals on this guy as well. And he is going to go right down onto the circle. Then we have one more finishing touch, and then this card is done. So not a terribly long card. There is some drying time with that Velveteen paper, but I think that it is completely worth it. Look how cute he is. And he feels like he's fuzzy. It's so luscious. I love it. All right, I'm gonna use my take your pick tool. We have these gold glimmer enamel dots, and I'm just going to pick these up, and we're gonna place, I think, 5 of them. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna use my others, my putty side. So we're gonna go through and just kind of place them around. One down here, and we'll do a little one right there. Super cute. All right, that is our finished card. This would be super cute. You can make a ton of different animals with that Menagerie Mix Up stamp set. I'm gonna pull this up again, this one, just to show you guys. He is so cute. Make sure you check out that Velveteen paper too, because it is so much fun to play with. And I think that's it, guys. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you need to shop for any supplies, shop my online store. Make sure to check my blog on Monday for some huge sales. I cannot wait to share with you guys all of those amazing sales I have coming on Monday. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will make sure to answer them. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a fantastic day. Bye.